Bitcoin really set a standard for transferring value, which I think continues to endure today. And then you saw sort of an evolution of that with Ethereum, where you had, an efficient tracking and transfer of value, but then you had the ability to then add programmable smart contracts so that you could do so in a very specific context. And there's a real value proposition that's been shown by, I'll say, those two assets in particular. But then what you're starting to see is that there are other blockchains that have other, value add propositions like Stellar, Solana, things that have higher throughput, are allowed to sort of, I would say, evolve those original use cases into something more effective. So I still think that there's value there, but if you zoom out a little bit, I think what crypto has shown is that people want control of their assets on a 24/7 basis. They want to remove intermediaries from that value transfer, and they don't want sort of financial services to exist within a walled garden. And so I think that's a movement that absolutely is going to continue. Whether or not specific assets are going to endure, or whether or not, kind of what form they take, I think is hard to say at this point. I think Bitcoin has shown that it's quite resilient over time. I think Ethereum certainly has entered the mainstream in many ways and is now regulated directly by the NYDFS and others. So I think the regulators need to play a big role in kind of overseeing these assets, making sure that when they do get adopted by traditional financial institutions, that they're done so with oversight. But I think the kind of ethos of crypto and the shift of control and ownership of money away from a system of kind of very few intermediaries to a more democratized version of finance is going to be what endures going forward.